At Christmas, my mother-in-law told my 6-year-old daughter, "Children born from your mother's mistakes don't get to call me Grandma." She pushed away the handmade gift my little girl made for her. Then my 8-year-old son stood up, slammed his expensive present on the floor, and said something that made her face go white. "Children from your mommy's cheating don't get to call me Grandma, sweetheart." Sharon's voice was sugar-coated poison. My 6-year-old daughter stood frozen, holding her handmade gift, macaroni glued carefully around a drawing she'd spent days making. Her face crumpled. Tears spilled down her cheeks. I couldn't breathe. My hand gripped the back of a chair, not because I was going to faint, because I was holding myself back from lunging at Sharon. This was Christmas at my mother-in-law's house. The tree glowed so bright it hurt to look at. Cinnamon candles competed with burnt food from the kitchen. Presents everywhere. Too many presents, but not for my daughter. Never for Mia. Minutes earlier, Sharon had gushed over my niece Bella's glitter-covered mug like it was a museum piece. She'd hugged her, praised her, showed it off to everyone. Then my son Noah gave her his drawing, a picture of them sledding together. Sharon squealed, beamed, pushed back his hair fondly, then handed him an enormous remote-controlled car. He loved it instantly. Then came Mia's turn. My little girl walked up, bouncing on her toes, smiling so hard she glowed. She'd poured her whole heart into that gift. Sharon took it, looked down at it, looked at Mia, then at me, and smiled without warmth. "Children from your mommy's cheating don't get to call me Grandma, sweetheart." The room went silent. My husband Thomas froze, mouth open, no words. His father Lawrence fidgeted, said nothing. My sister-in-law Melanie hid a smirk behind her hand. Mia's shoulders shook. Her little body couldn't contain the heartbreak. I was seconds from exploding, but someone beat me to it. Noah, my 8-year-old son, shot to his feet. His chair screeched loudly across the floor. Everyone jumped. He stormed straight toward Sharon. His jaw was tight. His eyes burned with something fierce and protective. He ripped his drawing right out of Sharon's hands. Then he picked up the expensive remote-controlled car she'd just given him and slammed it on the floor at her feet. The room gasped. Sharon stumbled backward, her face drained of color. Noah's voice shook, but it was steady. "If my sister isn't allowed to call you Grandma, then I don't want to call you that either." Sharon looked like she'd been slapped. Noah reached down, took Mia's trembling hand gently, turned to me. "Mom," he said softly but firmly, "can we leave? I don't want to stay here." His voice wasn't asking. It was deciding. Something inside me hardened. "Yes," I said coldly. "We're leaving." Thomas stood, slowly. His face showed shame, understanding, quiet fury. No one stopped us. We walked to the door. Me, Thomas, Noah, Mia, like soldiers leaving a battlefield. The cold December air wrapped around us as the door clicked shut, and I knew something had changed forever. When we got home, Thomas didn't pace. He didn't panic. He sat at his computer, opened his bank accounts, stared at rows of payments, mortgage contributions to his parents, money sent to Melanie, transfers made for years, and one by one, he canceled them. Every single payment. Not out of anger, out of clarity. "Noah did what I should have done," he said quietly. Then the phone calls started. Sharon crying, raging, demanding money. Melanie screaming about Bella's classes, accusations flying. Thomas hung up on them. Then Sharon started a smear campaign, posted online that I manipulated Thomas, that Mia wasn't his, that we abandoned the family. People whispered. Some believed her. So we took a DNA test. Not because we doubted, because truth needed armor. Results? 99.9999% paternity. We posted it publicly, with pictures of Mia. Pictures of my grandmother who Mia looked identical to, and Thomas's written statement detailing the $80,000 or plus he'd given his family over the years. The internet turned on Sharon. Invitations to her big birthday party canceled one by one. But the biggest shock came from Thomas's Aunt Virginia, the wealthy one. She called. Her voice was calm, precise, cold. "Did Sharon really say that to your daughter?" "Yes," I said. She exhaled slowly. "Then she's out of my will. Everything goes to Thomas and the children. I won't leave a cent to someone who treats a child that way." And just like that, Sharon lost her entire future inheritance. In one phone call. Sharon lost her entire future inheritance in one phone call, and she had no idea yet. But I knew. Virginia Thomas's aunt, 78 years old, sharp as a scalpel, worth an estimated $4.2 million from her late husband's pharmaceutical patents, had made her decision. "I'll be rewriting my will this week," she'd said calmly. "Sharon won't see a penny. Neither will Melanie. Everything goes to Thomas, Noah, and Mia." I thanked her, hung up, sat in silence. Thomas looked at me from across the kitchen table. "What did she say?" "She's cutting them out. Completely." He nodded slowly. No smile, no celebration, just quiet, grim satisfaction. "Good," he said. "Let me rewind. I need you to understand how we got here. I met Thomas 6 years ago at a game night. My friend Rachel dragged me there after a brutal breakup. You need to get it out, she'd said. Meet people, have fun. I didn't want fun. I wanted to disappear into my couch with ice cream and true crime podcasts. But I went, and there was Thomas, wearing a faded NASA t-shirt, meticulously sorting Monopoly pieces by color. His hair was messy. His glasses were crooked. He looked like someone who'd never hurt anyone in his life. He smiled at me. Awkward. Genuine. "Want to be the thimble?" he asked. I laughed. Sure. We talked for 4 hours. He was kind. Real. He listened when I spoke. He didn't perform. Didn't try to impress me with stories about his job or his car or his gym routine. He just existed. Comfortably. Honestly. I liked him immediately. We started dating 2 weeks later, and then I met his family. Sharon Miller opened the door to her oversized colonial house and looked me up and down like I was a stray cat that had wandered onto her porch. She didn't smile. She didn't shake my hand. She said, "You're taller than I expected." That was it. No, "Nice to meet you." No, "Thomas has told us so much about you." Just a comment about my height. Thomas squeezed my hand. "Mom, this is Emma." Sharon nodded curtly. "Come in. Dinner's almost ready." Inside, the house was immaculate. Too immaculate. Like a model home where no one actually lived. Lawrence, Thomas's father, quiet, deferential, permanently in Sharon's shadows, took my hand limply. "Nice to meet you," he mumbled. Melanie, Thomas's younger sister, 26, blonde, smug, barely looked up from her phone. "Hey," she said flatly. Dinner was worse. Sharon interrogated me. Where did I grow up? What did my parents do? What was my degree in? Where did I work? What were my career goals? It felt less like getting to know me and more like a job interview I hadn't applied for. Thomas tried to redirect. "Mom, Emma's a graphic designer. She just landed a contract with—" "That's nice," Sharon interrupted. "But graphic design isn't exactly stable, is it?" I forced a smile. "It's been good to me so far," she sniffed. "Well, we'll see." Under the table, Thomas squeezed my knee. "Just endure," his eyes said. So I did. 2 years later, Thomas proposed. Simple. Sweet. On the same couch where we'd first kissed. I said yes. Sharon's reaction? Well, it's about time. We got married 6 months later. Small wedding. Immediate family only. Sharon complained about the venue, the flowers, the food, and my dress. But I endured, and then I got pregnant. Noah was born on a rainy Tuesday in October. 8 pounds, 2 ounces. Perfect. Sharon fell in love instantly. She visited the hospital 3 times in 2 days. Brought gifts. Took photos. Cooed over him like he was the second coming. "My grandson," she kept saying. "My perfect grandson." For the first time, I felt like maybe I'd been accepted. Then Mia was born. 3 years later, 7 pounds, 9 ounces. Also perfect. But Sharon's reaction was different. She visited once. Stayed for 20 minutes. Didn't hold Mia. Didn't take photos. She looked at her. Frowned slightly. "She doesn't look like Thomas," she said. I laughed it off. "She looks like my grandmother. Same nose, same chin." Sharon's eyes narrowed. That was it. No congratulations. No joy. Just suspicion. As the kids grew older, the favoritism became impossible to ignore. Noah got elaborate birthday parties. Mia got cupcakes. Noah got expensive toys for Christmas. Mia got clearance section dolls. Noah got praised constantly. Mia got overlooked. At first, I told myself it was unintentional, that Sharon just connected more with Noah because he was older, because he was the first grandchild. But then the comments started. "Mia doesn't look like the rest of the family, does she? Are you sure she's Thomas's? It's funny how different they are. Noah's so smart. Mia's, well, she's sweet." Each comment was delivered with a smile, a laugh, like it was a joke, but it wasn't. Thomas didn't see it, or he didn't want to. "Mom's just being mom," he'd say. "She doesn't mean anything by it." But Noah saw it. Even at 6 years old, he noticed. "Why does Grandma give me bigger presents?" he asked one day. She's excited about you," I said carefully. "But what about Mia?" I didn't have an answer. So Noah started sharing. Every gift, every treat, every bit of attention. He'd split his candy, give Mia half his toys, hold her hand when Sharon ignored her. He became her protector, and I loved him for it. But I hated that he had to be. The night before the incident, Thomas and I had a fight. A real one. "Your mother hates Mia," I said bluntly. "She doesn't hate her. Thomas, she called her the spare last week to Melanie." I heard her. He went pale. "She didn't mean—" "Stop defending her," I snapped. "She treats our daughter like a mistake, and you just let her." He stood there silent, his jaw working. Finally, he said, "What do you want me to do?" "Stand up to her. Tell her it's unacceptable. Set boundaries. She's my mother, and Mia is your daughter." He flinched. We didn't speak for the rest of the night. The next day, we drove to Sharon's house for Christmas. I almost didn't go, but Mia had made that drawing. She was so excited to give it to Grandma. I couldn't take that away from her. So we went, and everything fell apart. After we left Sharon's house that night, Thomas didn't say a word the entire drive home. Noah sat in the back holding Mia's hand. She'd cried herself to sleep. When we got home, Thomas went straight to his office. I put the kids to bed, kissed their foreheads, whispered that everything would be okay. I wasn't sure I believed it. Then I went downstairs. Thomas was at his computer. His face was lit by the blue glow of the screen. "What are you doing?" I asked, looking at at something. I walked closer. On the screen, his bank account. Rows and rows of transactions. Payments to Sharon and Lawrence, monthly, for years. Don $200 a month for their mortgage. $800 a month to Melanie for expenses. $500 here, $300 there. I did the math in my head. Over $80,000 in the past 5 years. I didn't realize how much it was, Thomas said quietly. You've been paying their mortgage? Dad lost his job 3 years ago. Mom asked for help, just temporarily, she said. 3 years isn't temporary. He nodded. Then one by one, he canceled every recurring payment. Click, click, click. Thomas. Noah stood up for his sister, he said. I should have done it years ago. The first call came at 7:43 a.m. the next morning. Sharon. I answered on speaker. Thomas, what the hell did you do? She shrieked. Good morning, Mom. Don't good morning me. The mortgage payment didn't go through. Fix it. I canceled it. Silence. Then, you what? I canceled all the payments. To you, to Dad, to Melanie. You can't do that. We have bills, we have... So do we, Thomas said calmly. And I have 2 kids to raise. Kids you apparently don't care about equally. This is about yesterday? Are you serious? I was joking. You made my 6-year-old daughter cry on Christmas. That wasn't a joke. She's too sensitive. And frankly, Thomas, if Emma wasn't... He hung up. The phone rang again immediately. He declined. It rang 12 more times before he turned it off. By December 28th, Sharon had posted a 200-word Facebook essay. The title, When Your Son Chooses His Wife Over His Family. It was a masterpiece of manipulation. She painted herself as the victim, the heartbroken mother, the grandmother cruelly cut off from her grandchildren. She claimed I'd poisoned Thomas against her. She hinted strongly that Mia wasn't Thomas's biological daughter. She said we'd abandoned the family over a harmless comment. The post got 247 likes, 83 comments, most of them supportive. I'm so sorry, Sharon. You deserve better. Family should come first. Some women just want to isolate their husbands. I read it twice, then closed my laptop. Thomas read it once, then called a lawyer. Rebecca Martinez, 41, family law attorney, 15 years of experience, sharp suit, sharper mind sat across from us in her downtown office. So, she said, folding her hands, your mother-in-law is claiming your daughter isn't biologically yours? Yes, Thomas said. And she's posting this publicly? On Facebook, with my full name tagged. Rebecca made a note. That's defamation, potentially. What can we do? I asked. Well, Rebecca said slowly, the easiest way to shut this down is proof. Undeniable proof. A DNA test, Thomas said. Exactly. I hesitated. I don't want Mia to think we doubted. You're not doubting, Rebecca interrupted gently. You're protecting her. And yourselves. If your mother-in-law continues this narrative, it could affect Mia later. School, friends, her sense of identity. She was right. We scheduled the test for the next day. Dr. Anjali Kapoor, geneticist, 23 years in the field, kind eyes, steady hands, swabbed Thomas's cheek, then Mia's. Mia giggled. That tickles. All done, sweetheart, Dr. Kapoor said warmly. The results would take 3 to 5 business days. We waited. In the meantime, the calls continued. The messages, the voicemails, Sharon crying, begging, threatening, Melanie screaming, demanding, Lawrence, quiet. Please, son, she's your mother. Thomas blocked them all. January 4th, 2:17 p.m. Dr. Kapoor called. Mr. Miller, the results are in. Thomas put her on speaker. And probability of paternity, 99.997%. I exhaled. Thomas closed his eyes. Thank you, Dr. Kapoor. Of course. I'll email the official report within the hour. We sat in silence for a long moment. Then Thomas opened his laptop. What are you doing? I asked. Ending this. Thomas typed for 20 minutes. Then he posted. To everyone who read my mother's post, here are the facts. 1. My daughter, Mia, is 100% biologically mine. I'm attaching the DNA test results to prove it. 2. My mother has treated Mia differently since birth. She has made cruel comments about her appearance, her intelligence, and her legitimacy. 3. On Christmas Day, she told my 6-year-old daughter in front of the entire family that children from your mommy's cheating don't get to call me grandma. 4. Over the past 5 years, I have given my parents and sister over $80,000 in financial support. I have now stopped. Not out of spite, but because I will not fund people who hurt my children. 5. My son Noah stood up for his sister when no adult in that room did. He is 8 years old, and he showed more courage and integrity than I have in years. I'm done pretending this is normal. I'm done protecting people who don't protect my kids. If you have a problem with that, the door is open. Thomas. He attached the DNA results. A photo of Mia next to my grandmother. They were identical. A screenshot of his bank transactions. Then he hit post. Within 2 hours, the post had 1,832 shares. Within 6 hours, Sharon's original post had been deleted. The comments poured in. I can't believe she said that to a 6-year-old. You're a good dad, Thomas. Sharon should be ashamed. Some of Sharon's friends tried to defend her. They were drowned out. By January 6th, Sharon had been uninvited from 3 social events. Her book club, her church group, her yoga class. Melanie deactivated her Facebook. Lawrence called once. months. You didn't have to destroy her like this. She destroyed herself, Thomas said, and hung up. Aunt Virginia, January 10th, 3:42 p.m. Virginia called again. Thomas, I've rewritten my will, okay? I wanted you to know what's in it. You don't have to. Hush. I'm old. I'll say what I want. Thomas smiled despite himself. Everything goes to you and the children, Virginia continued. The house in Vermont, the stock portfolio, the savings accounts, all of it. Aunt Virginia. Sharon won't get a dime. Neither will Melanie. I won't reward cruelty. Thomas's voice cracked. Thank you. Don't thank me. Just raise those kids right. And tell Emma she's the best thing that ever happened to this family. She hung up. Thomas sat there, staring at his phone. Then he cried. It's June now. The house is quiet, peaceful. Noah and Mia are in the backyard, building a fort out of old sheets and lawn chairs. Thomas is grilling burgers, humming to himself. We haven't spoken to Sharon in 6 months. Or Melanie. Or Lawrence. At first I thought I'd feel guilty, but I don't. Last week, Mia asked, Mom, why doesn't Grandma Sharon visit anymore? I crouched down to her level. Because she wasn't kind to you, sweetheart. And we don't let unkind people in our lives. She thought about it, then nodded. Okay. And that was it. No trauma, no confusion, just acceptance. Because kids are resilient, especially when they're protected. One evening, Noah came to me while I was washing dishes. Mom? Yeah, buddy? Was it okay? What I said at Christmas? I dried my hands, sat down, pulled him close. You stood up for your sister. You protected someone who couldn't protect herself. That's always okay. But Grandma was mad. Grandma was wrong. He looked up at me. Will she ever say sorry? I thought about it. I don't know. But even if she does, it doesn't mean things go back to normal. Why not? Because sorry doesn't erase hurt. It's just the first step. She'd have to show us, really show us, that she's changed. He nodded slowly. Then he hugged me tight. I love you, Mom. I love you too, Noah. Last Saturday was Mia's 7th birthday. We threw a party. Small, just close friends. People who actually loved her. She wore a purple dress, blew out candles, laughed so hard she snorted. At one point she ran up to me. Mom, this is the best birthday ever. I kissed her forehead. You deserve it, sweetheart. And she did. Because she wasn't a mistake. She wasn't unwanted. She was loved, fiercely, completely, by the people who mattered. That night, after the kids were asleep, Thomas and I sat on the porch. The air was warm. The stars were out. Do you ever regret it? I asked, cutting them off. Yeah, he thought about it. No, he said finally. I regret not doing it sooner. I rested my head on his shoulder. Noah's the real hero in all this, I said. Thomas smiled. Yeah, he is. We sat in silence for a while. Then Thomas said, you know what the crazy thing is? What? I feel lighter, like I've been carrying something heavy for years, and I finally put it down. I squeezed his hand. That's called freedom. He nodded. Yeah, I guess it is. And that's where we are now. Free, whole, protected. Because sometimes the people who are supposed to love you the most don't. And sometimes the bravest thing you can do is walk away. And sometimes an 8-year-old boy shows you what courage really looks like.